How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. If you want to see some scary videos, then you're in the right spot. Just hit that subscribe button, sit back, relax and enjoy the creepy content.
I just saw the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watch this.
Here's a scary clip that's left viewers genuinely unsettled. The video was uploaded to TikTok by author Kyle Anthony, who opens the clip by telling viewers he's just seen the scariest thing on his Crawlspace camera. Take a look at what was captured. He continues by saying he can't tell whether someone might be secretly living beneath his house, or whether what he saw was something else entirely.
It looks so freaky. Is there a person under my crawl space? Is there some hidden tunnel where they're getting access to it somehow without opening it? There's nothing else on the camera. There's nobody going in. I don't know what to think.
The space is narrow, dark, and claustrophobic. Suddenly, a pale humanoid figure seems to emerge from the shadows. While difficult to see at first, once you brighten the footage, its appearance is unmistakable. The clip then cuts back to the homeowner who says the shape looks like a person.
It looks like a person. Sorta.
He begins to wonder whether someone could be accessing the crawl space through a hidden tunnel, pointing out that there's no footage of anyone entering or exiting, no doors opening, no movement on other cameras, nothing that explains how a person could be down there at all.
Is there a person under my crawl space? Is there some hidden tunnel where they're getting access to it somehow without opening it? There's nothing else on the camera. There's nobody going in.
Clearly unnerved, he jokes about filling the entire crawl space with concrete, encasing whatever's inside.
How many yards of concrete do you think it'll take to fill in this whole daggone thing? Whatever's in there, we'll just encase it in concrete.
One comment in particular stood out. A viewer, claiming to be a channeler, wrote that the figure was an apparition, intentionally revealing itself. According to them, it wasn't hiding. It was letting itself be seen, possibly to draw the homeowner back to the crawl space to discover something it wanted found. Whether this was a trick of shadows, an intruder, or something paranormal, the clip has left viewers uneasy. Here's a short but unsettling clip that left viewers unsure what they were witnessing. The bizarre video shows a driver attempting to make a right-hand turn. The man isn't crossing, he isn't gesturing, he isn't reacting to the car at all. He's simply standing there, frozen in place.
Boss is stuck in time, you know. Are you stuck in time?
Concerned, the driver stops his vehicle and gets out. He walks around to face the man directly, circling in front of him to get a better look. Still, there's no response.
He's jammed in the matrix. Boss is stuck in time, you know. Are you stuck in time?
The driver then waves his hand directly in front of the man's face, testing whether he'll react. Nothing happens. The man remains completely still, as if unaware of his surroundings.
Yo, that's mad. How he just stood still like that? Nah. This guy's bugging.
In the comments, interpretations quickly split. Some viewers leaned toward the bizarre, suggesting the clip resembled a glitch in the Matrix, a moment where reality itself seemed to pause. Others were far more concerned. Several commenters pointed out that the man's behavior could be consistent with a seizure, dissociative episode, or another serious neurological condition.
Jumped in the Matrix.
The video then ends without showing what happened next, leaving viewers with unanswered questions. While the uploader seems to think it was a genuine glitch caught on camera, what's your take on the situation? Are we witnessing a breakdown in the simulation, or is there another way to explain this bizarre behavior? Let me know your theories in the comments section below.
How he just stood still like that? Nah. This guy's bugging.
Here's a chilling image that's left viewers deeply unsettled, especially because it was captured while everyone in the house was asleep. The image was uploaded to TikTok by These Haunted Hills, who explains that the homeowner's motion-activated camera was triggered at 4:45 AM. In the image, a dark, shadowy figure appears to be sitting or hovering over the sleeping person. The shape is humanoid, lacking clear facial features, but distinct enough to suggest a presence rather than a random shadow. The figure's position makes it look as though it's looming directly over the individual. The homeowner acknowledges that their raised arm may have triggered the motion sensor. It looks as if it's touching or reaching toward the shadowy figure, or perhaps even being lifted up. That detail is what unsettled many viewers the most. In the comments, some suggested the image could be an optical illusion caused by low light conditions, camera artifacts, or the way infrared sensors interpret movement in dark rooms. Others focused on sleep paralysis, pointing out how closely the image resembles the phenomenon reported for centuries. During sleep paralysis, people often wake up unable to move, while experiencing vivid hallucinations that feel completely real. One of the most common features described across cultures is a shadowy figure seen sitting on or hovering near the chest or bed, sometimes watching silently. Many sufferers report intense fear, a sense of pressure, and the feeling that the figure is physically present in the room. Because the brain is partially dreaming while the body is awake, these figures can appear incredibly detailed and convincing. So what do you think? Does this creepy photo show proof of a sleep paralysis demon caught on camera? Or is there another way to explain what it shows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. This next series of scary videos show why it is a wise decision to install a home security camera. The first video was posted to TikTok by StephenJohn7015 and shows footage captured at around 12:30 AM. The street is quiet when a vehicle pulls up and stops directly outside the house. Then the driver gets out. Instead of approaching the door, the individual appears to immediately begin taking photos of the house, with visible flashes going off. After taking several photos, the individual walks away. However, they return a short time later. In the comments, some viewers suggested a technical explanation, pointing out that what you can see in the video is actually an infrared camera flash designed to go off at regular intervals on modern phones. This flash normally goes unnoticed to the naked eye, however, cameras can pick it up. While that theory could account for the apparent flashes, it does nothing to explain the person's odd and unsettling behavior. Several commenters noted the person's movement looked intentional. A number of viewers urged the homeowner to ask neighbours if their cameras captured the same person, suggesting the incident could be part of a larger pattern. Here's a similar piece of unsettling security footage that was uploaded to TikTok by Wired Eyes. The poster explains that the incident began when their daughter suddenly ran into their room in a panic. She said she had seen someone at the window. At first, the parent assumed she'd had a nightmare, but to be safe, they checked the home's security camera footage. The footage shows two unfamiliar people standing outside the house, directly beneath the windows. Again, we can see the flashing effect coming from one of their mobile phones. Once again, their behavior looks deliberate, as if they are searching the property for a potential robbery. In the comments, viewers reacted with alarm. Some urged the family to contact the police immediately. And finally, this last piece of scary security footage shows the stakes escalating even further. The video was uploaded to TikTok by XLYSSXBXIly and was recorded in Visalia, California. According to the caption, the incident occurred on June 11th, 2025 at approximately 9 p.m. The unsettling footage shows a woman, the uploader's sister, being chased up her driveway by an unknown man. The clip captures the moment she reaches her apartment and opens the door. The man follows closely behind, coming right up to the entrance. Instead of stopping there, he continues toward the back gate, moving through the property as if looking for another way in. The man can be heard calling out what sounds like "lady," a detail that many viewers found especially disturbing given how close he already was. Incidents like this are a stark reminder that some of the most frightening moments caught on camera don't involve the paranormal. They involve real people with bad intentions. Here's a short clip that's caused a surprising amount of debate. The video was posted to Reddit by user ZFastNLoud1, who says the footage was sent to him by his mum after it was captured on their backyard security camera at 8:52 p.m. The backyard is fully fenced in, and according to the poster, it was the middle of January, making it unlikely that anyone was running around outside at that time. Suddenly, a dark shape appears and moves rapidly across the yard. What makes the clip unsettling is the way the shadow behaves. The movement looks fast and deliberate, almost like a person running, though some viewers noted it appears to move in an unusual way, possibly even backwards. In the comments, opinions quickly split. Some viewers suggested the shadow could be caused by a small animal, like a cat or raccoon, moving along the fence line and casting an exaggerated silhouette due to the angle of the light. Others weren't convinced. Several people pointed out that the shadow appears bipedal, with a stride that doesn't resemble the four-legged movement most animals would produce. The fact that the yard is enclosed, the wind appears minimal, and no physical body is visible alongside the shadow only added to the confusion. So what really ran through that backyard? A smaller animal seemingly magnified by a trick of lighting and perspective? Or could it have been an actual shadow person caught on camera? On June 18, 1979, Giancarlo Ciccone, a highly respected and experienced pilot with the Italian Air Force, was flying a routine training mission over northern Italy in a G.91R jet, an aircraft he knew well. Ciccone was not a novice pilot. He was considered calm, disciplined, and technically skilled, the kind of pilot trusted with complex operations. During the flight, Ciccone radioed that he had visual contact with an unknown object. He described it as dark, cylindrical, and metallic with no visible wings, markings, or exhaust. It was not emitting sound, contrails, or heat signatures consistent with conventional aircraft. When Ciccone attempted to approach and identify the object, it reacted immediately, accelerating and maneuvering in ways that far exceeded the capabilities of his jet. According to later reconstructions and testimony, the object appeared to pace Ciccone's aircraft, changing direction abruptly and maintaining complete control without any visible means of propulsion. At one point, it reportedly closed distance rapidly, forcing Ciccone into evasive maneuvers. The encounter was brief, but intense. Then just as suddenly as it appeared, the object shot straight upward and vanished. Shortly after the encounter, Ciccone's jet crashed, killing him instantly. The official explanation issued by the Italian military attributed the crash to pilot error or spatial disorientation, possibly caused by the stress of the aerial maneuvering. No mechanical failure was publicly confirmed, and no definitive cause linking the UFO encounter to the crash was acknowledged. That explanation has never fully satisfied researchers. What makes the Ciccone incident stand out is not just the sighting, but the timing. A trained military pilot reports an unknown craft performing impossible maneuvers, and minutes later, he is dead. Skeptics argue that Ciccone may have misidentified a weather balloon, atmospheric phenomenon, or distant aircraft, and that the crash resulted from disorientation during high-speed pursuit. Supporters counter that such explanations fail to account for the object's controlled movements, sudden acceleration, and vertical escape, behaviors repeatedly reported by military pilots across decades and continents. Unlike many UFO cases, the Ciccone incident was acknowledged, not denied. The Italian Air Force confirmed that Ciccone reported an unknown object. What they rejected was the implication that it was anything extraordinary. More than 40 years later, the case remains unresolved. Was the object a misidentified natural phenomenon encountered at the worst possible moment? Or did Ciccone intercept something genuinely unknown, something that pushed both pilot and aircraft beyond their limits? Whatever the truth, the Ciccone incident stands as a stark reminder that some encounters with the unknown don't end in questions alone. They end in tragedy. If you want to see more scary videos just like these, then hit that subscribe button and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll get a feed filled with our delightfully creepy paranormal listicles.
So, when I was a kid, I lived near this church up on a hill in Canada.
A strange story shared on the Max Paranormal YouTube channel has left viewers questioning memory, history, and even reality itself.
And during the breaks, or when we were waiting for our parents to pick us up, we quite often all wait outside. And down the side of the church and around the back was where the graveyard was.
In the video, the channel's host recounts a personal experience involving a churchyard grave in Canada. According to the host, the story begins in childhood. Growing up near a church on a hill, she regularly attended Girl Guides meetings in the church hall. During breaks, the children would often wander outside to the graveyard behind the building. One grave stood out in particular, an above-ground stone tomb. The grave was distinctive, detailed, and unforgettable.
There was one grave that sat above ground, so you know, the four sides of stone and with a lid. And on top of the grave was the person's name. And it said Major.
It belonged to a man identified as a major who fought in the First World War. His rank, name, service dates, and life details were clearly spelled out in lettering embedded in the stone. The children even gave the grave a nickname, casually referring to it as Major's Tomb. The memory was vivid, repeated over years, and shared among multiple people.
All us girls, the girl guys used to say, oh, let's go and sit on Major's tomb, and, we say, hey, Major, and all that.
Years later, after moving to the UK and returning to Canada in her early 20s, the host decided to revisit the churchyard out of curiosity. She wanted to learn more about the soldier whose grave she remembered so clearly. But when she found it, something was wrong.
And I walked around the back of the church. I know exactly where it is. I walked straight up to the grave. The grave was still there. And I look at it, and I'm like, that's not right. It now says captain on it.
The grave was still there, but the rank now read captain, not major. Confused, she questioned her parents, only to be met with mild dismissal. Still unsettled, she filed the moment away as strange but unresolved. Nearly a decade later, she returned again.
So about 10 years ago now, I was back in the area, and again I was passing by, and I thought, that's really strange. I'm going to go and have a look at that grave. So I've gone up to the graveyard and walked over to the grave, and suddenly it says he's a sergeant. And I'm like...
This time, the same grave bore a third rank. Now it read sergeant. The lettering looked old and weathered, consistent with the age of the grave. Nothing suggested it had been altered or replaced. At this point, even her parents acknowledged that they remembered her previously saying the rank had changed, a detail that deepened the mystery.
I'm telling my parents about, now he's a sergeant. I don't understand. Why is he a sergeant? I don't understand why he's a sergeant. And they're going, no, hold on, we do remember you saying that he was a captain last time.
The final visit is where the story takes a truly unsettling turn. Accompanied by her partner, the host returned to the churchyard expecting to finally settle the matter. She led them directly to the spot where the above-ground grave had always been, but it was gone.
So, we come up to this churchyard. I say, okay, look, I'm going to show you where it is. It's around the back, by the entrance, and we walk around the back, and there's no above-ground grave.
In its place stood a completely different headstone belonging to someone who had died in the 1800s, long before the First World War. The distinctive raised tomb, the one she had climbed on as a child, revisited as an adult and checked multiple times, no longer existed.
And I'm looking around going, where's the grave gone? It was right here. We sat on it when I was a child. I sat on it.
As they searched the graveyard, hoping it had been moved, they found nothing that matched.
She goes, let's walk around, let's have a look. I'm going, no, it's right there, but fine, we'll have a walk around. So if all that wasn't weird enough, he's now just disappeared, and there's another grave from somebody who died much earlier.
The host openly wonders whether this could be a timeline shift, a form of reality change, or something related to what commenters suggested might be the Mandela Effect. A phenomenon where groups of people remember events, names, or details differently than how they currently exist in recorded history. Was this simply faulty memory stretched over decades, a misunderstanding compounded by time, or evidence that something about the past and how it's remembered isn't as fixed as we believe? The host leaves viewers with an open question, inviting others to share similar experiences. Because if graves can change or disappear entirely, what else might be quietly rewriting itself while no one is looking?
We were just about to walk out the graveyard, and I said, yeah, it's over, and it's not over there anymore. Their gravestone that I saw as I left the time before is not even there anymore. So everything changed. I don't know, what do you think happened?
Well, that's it. That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you can't get enough of the scary videos, then check out those 2 links there for more. Leave us some comments down below or smash that thumbs up button. It really helps us out in the algorithm. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.